Welcome to the All Around Joe podcast, where we optimize your human performance from my personal experience as an athlete, coach, and all-around self-improvement junkie. On this edition of the All Around Joe podcast, we're going to be talking about some productivity hacks and the magic of checklists and how they've increased my productivity. So every once in a while, I will have more of a productivity series or podcast on the All Around Joe, fitness, nutrition, all that fun stuff, because it kind of relates, but it also kind of doesn't. And that's okay, because it's going to make you better in other areas of your life. And if you're more efficient in other areas of your life, then you have more time for training, working on your fitness, nutrition, and hacking that type of stuff. Correct? Are we on the same page? I hope so. Also, I am coming to you from the Van Studio here, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, where it is a bluebird day up here at the mountain elevations. If you haven't been to Steamboat, Colorado, highly recommend it for their champagne powder. It is fantastic up here. Although we're getting into spring skiing, where it's getting into the mid 30s and even the low 40s during the day. And then actually last night it was 8 degrees. So it can't really make up its mind right now how warm it wants to be. But we got some fresh snow earlier on in the week, so that's all good. This podcast is brought to you by the Get Better Project, which is my online at-home training program, where we're getting a lot of momentum right now, especially with the daily challenges. Right now we have some cool daily challenges going on that people are helping themselves work on these habits every single day in order to get better at things. And they could be all kinds of different things, from like this month right now we have a nutrition tracking daily challenge. We've had burpee daily challenges. We've had all kinds of different other exercise daily challenges. It's amazing what you can do with a small amount of time in your day. Like, for example, a 2-minute plank. So you take 2 minutes out of your day for 30 days-ish, depending on the month, and you can make some incredible improvements in, like, let's say your core stability, how defined your abs are. It's pretty crazy. So we've been getting a lot of traction with that, and you do it alongside with the Get Better Project daily workouts, the 1 through 5 level series, depending on where you're at. And it's just been really cool. So if that sounds like a fun thing for you, a fun community for you, head over to thegetbetterproject.com/getbetter, and we would love to have you in the program today. All right, guys, the magic of checklists and how they've increased my productivity. I was just checking things off the other day, and I thought, dang, you know what? This would be a good podcast. It's not going to be a long podcast, but it's going to be something that if you are a similar thinker to how my brain works, then you're going to get a lot out of this. If you're not, then I'm sorry. I can't relate. But this has been working really, really great for me. It's super effective, and it's incredibly simple and easy to do and set up. So if you're an iPhone user, I can help you. If you're an Android user or something else, you're going to have to find your own app, and I think that they have one. I think there's something like called Google Keep or Google Tasks or something like that might be similar to the Reminders app in the iOS or the Apple iPhone series of softwares. The cool thing about this is that it's so basic. You basically go in and you have categories. So you set up, like, for example, I have like my All Around Joe. I've got the Get Better Project. I have personal. I have bills. I have a couple of other things, the Fantastic Life. And one of the things that's interesting, making a note on the Fantastic Life, is that I can share this reminder group or category with Emily. So like if we need to go and get something from the grocery store, we both want to make sure that we get it, we could put it in the Fantastic Life shared reminders group and have it pop up when we get to the grocery store. And then if I check it off, then it goes away. And if she checks it off, then it goes away. So if you really want to nail down some grocery shopping, you make your whole list on the Reminders app. You get to the grocery store with your significant other or whoever you're grocery shopping with, and then you divide and conquer. And as you grab things and put them in your cart, you check them off of the list. And then they disappear. And then once they're all gone, you just meet at the register and you get out of there. Seems kind of cool. We haven't tried it, but usually we don't spend that much time at the grocery store, except when we're working at Whole Foods, which we spend a lot of time there. So what I use this for is, number one, I would say it is very nice for paying bills. So if if you do or you don't have your bills set up on auto payment, which I highly recommend. But here's the thing. Sometimes you can't do this little trick I'm going to teach you today. So if you pay your bills, let's say you've got and these are more like loan bills, so like mortgage, student loan, any kind of credit card debt that you have, car payments. If you pay them twice a month, you're going to get an advantage from an interest standpoint. I don't know all of the games or like the calculations behind this, but smarter people than me have told me to do this and have shown the numbers on how much faster you would pay down your debt if you pay them twice a month. So it's the same amount that you're paying. So like you've got a $60 bill per month, you just pay $30 on the 15th and $30 on the 1st. And you're going to pay the same amount, but it's going to cut down the amount of interest that you're going to actually end up paying over time, and you're going to pay down the loan faster than you would have anyway. And you can do this with with your car payment, like I said, with your mortgage payment, with your credit cards, with whatever bills that you might have that have a monthly payment due on them. So using the Reminders app is great because a lot of times their auto payment setup, you can't set up for twice a month. You can just set up for the once a month. So what I'll do is I'll set up the auto payment for once a month, and then I'll go in and make an extra payment at the halfway point in the month. So I'll do that with the Reminders app. Log in your food diary. So this is really great for the things that you don't always do intuitively. So like for me, food diary is a good one. I never remember, on the 1st or the 15th or actually I have bills on like the 21st and 22nd of the month to pay those. So that's why the bill thing is great. But the login of food diary, I don't always think, oh shoot, at the end of the day, I need to log my food diary and see where I'm at. Because really the most effective thing for logging the food diary would be to do it every single time that you eat or before every single time that you eat, so you see how much you can eat. But it doesn't usually work out that way. And the way that it usually works out is that you might start logging something from breakfast and then you forget. And then before dinner, you go and you log everything that you've had for the day, and then you see how much you can put in for your dinner meal. That's the best way that I've found to do it, unless you're going to pre-package all of your food. Like my girl Priscilla, who just was telling me that, she weighs and measures all of her food and then puts it in her Tupperware and takes it with her for the day. And that's fantastic. And she actually logs it the day before, before she leaves. So she knows exactly how much she's putting into these prepackaged containers when she's going. And I know that most people are not going to be that organized. So if you're not that organized, then I feel like the best way of logging your food is either after or before every meal that you're going to have, or right before the dinner meal, your biggest feeding meal of the day, so you can determine how much you should actually eat. So what I'll do is I'll go in and have, my first 4 meals of the day logged, and then I've got this big dinner meal, and I'll go and see like, oh, okay, I can have a cup and a half of rice tonight. I can have, I need more protein, 8 ounces of chicken, and, my fat is already tapped out, so I'm not going to have whatever the dressing, or I'm going to be really light on this, peanut-based dressing or whatever, right? Let's say we're having some sort of Thai food type style of thing. So then I know exactly how much I can put on my plate, and I'm going to nail my numbers or become really close to those numbers for that particular day. And I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, but that's so I would make that reminder for the afternoon or before dinner to log that information into my MyFitnessPal. The daily challenges. So like I mentioned, in the Get Better Project, we have daily challenges. I am busy. I'm recording podcasts, I'm going snowboarding, I'm doing work, I'm writing for the blog, doing all this particular stuff, helping with clients, all of that stuff constantly, and every day is a little bit different. If you haven't talked about it before, I do this theme day thing where I focus on all of my particular projects on one day so I can continue to keep my headspace on that particular thing, and then the next day would be something completely different, usually. So if I have a daily challenge, like having to do 2 minutes, actually right now it's 2 minutes and 15 seconds of planks, sometimes I forget. But if I put it in to ping me at the end of the day, so like at 8 p.m., then if I have done it, I can go in and check it off early. And if I haven't, or if I've forgotten about it, then at 8 p.m. I get a reminder on my phone that says, hey, you need to do your 2 minutes and 15 seconds of planks. So that's been really helpful. Maybe the most helpful, other than bills, because nobody wants the bill collector coming after you, is that I have a setup to ping me or remind me at 8 a.m. in the morning and 8 p.m. at night to do my gratitude journal. And they're actually different things, but the ping is the same, or the reminder is the same. So at 8 a.m. in the morning, I get a reminder that says, hey, write in your gratitude journal. And I'll go through and I'll do my gratituding and, how I want the day to go and all this stuff, my confirmation affirmations. And then at night, I have another one that pings me and I say, what was the best thing that happened during the day? And this has been an incredible game changer. And I started off doing this with the 5-minute journal, which I highly recommend, but I didn't remember to do that all the time. And that was on me until I started making these reminders, because they had the same kind of setup for the 5-minute journal. But if you don't remember, you're busy, you have something different happen that particular day, and it throws you off. And that's okay. So like sometimes what will happen is I'll get up and I'll have something going on. Like let's say that we're going to go snowboarding, and we get up and we're all excited and we're going to drive up to the mountain. We get up there and we go snowboarding, and then I look at my phone and I'm like, oh shoot, well, I'm going to the bathroom or something, like, or at lunchtime. Oh shoot, I forgot to do my daily journaling. So then I'll pull it up on my phone and I'll do it right there in the afternoon. You don't have to skip it. I'll just still get it done a little bit late, and then I will have done it rather than just completely wiped it off and forgotten about it, which is something that can easily happen. I use it for resetting my phone stats. So if you guys don't have, or most of you, I guess it depends on what kind of plan you have. Most of you are probably going to have an unlimited phone plan these days, which doesn't necessarily mean unlimited. It means that you probably have about 22 gigabytes of data per month and a 15 gigabyte hotspot on your phone per month. So if you figure out what day your phone data resets, like for mine it's the 3rd of every month, I have a reminder in there that I can go into my cellular data settings and I can reset, because it doesn't do it automatically. You got to go in and reset it yourself. Why it would do it automatically, who knows why they didn't do that, but anyway, or why they don't have like constant data and then monthly data so you know exactly where you're at. But anyway, you can go and track that way, so especially for personal, the hotspot on the phone, like if it hits 15 gigabytes, I'm pretty much done. I can't help out my computer or my iPad from my phone internet service. It also is helpful if you're going to be in populated places, because what will happen is they will throttle your data service once you get to 22 gigabytes of data on your unlimited plan, which doesn't make any sense, but that's how they do it. So then what happens is, let's say if you're in a populated area where the tower is being used a lot, they will throttle you down to really slow data. Your phone hardly works at all. But if you're not in a populated area and you're at, let's say, you could be at 50 gigabytes you've used for that month, then your phone will still work totally normal. It's just that they are saying that they have the right to throttle you if there's a high amount of usage on those particular towers or area where you're at. So it's just good to know, and it takes about 2 seconds to do that. Articles that I want to read in the future. So I use the Reminders app when I'm in, let's say, Tim Ferriss or something publishes an article and it sounds interesting to me, and I click on it. I don't have time to read it at that particular time. I will push the little reminders button. It's under the sharing setting, and then it will pop up into my reminders, and I can say either put a date on it for the future, or I can just have it in there. So then when I go and I have more time, I can see that I have a reminder to read this particular article. And then when I'm done, I can check it off. And it has a link to the article and everything. It's really, really fun, fancy. Canceling memberships. So a lot of times memberships, if they're monthly, like bills or whatnot, monthly is not that big of a deal usually. But sometimes you have these memberships that are annually or every 6 months these days, and they're recurring annually. I know that I have software memberships that are like this a lot of times. So what I'll do is I'll go into Reminders app, and a week before that membership is going to be renewing itself on my credit card, I'll put a reminder in there and say, hey, XYZ membership is renewing next week on this particular date. Decide if you want to keep it. So then I can go into the Reminders app, and it doesn't tell me, like I don't have to think about it at all until the next year it pops up, and I have to decide, did I use this subscription at all? And do I want to keep it? Yes or no? And then I'll just reset the reminder for the next year and then decide if I'm going to use it again, and so on and so forth. The last but not least great thing about the Reminders app is checking in with friends, family, or clients that you need to. So I've got a couple of clients right now that I check in with twice a week, so on Sunday and Wednesdays. And like I said, I'm a busy person, so I could go through a complete week and be like, oh, shoot, I completely forgot to check in with those particular clients. But a lot of coaching is accountability. A lot of the Get Better project, if somebody needs some accountability, I'm just going to ping them and say, hey, what's up? I've got a guy right now in the Get Better project that I send a message to every single day at 2 p.m. And I'm just like, hey, how'd yesterday go? And he lets me know. He's just like, yep, I got my workout done, and I'm just his accountability partner. It doesn't hardly take anything at all, but I would never remember at 2 p.m. every single day. I don't hardly even know what time it is right now, so I would never remember that I should message him. But with the Reminders app, I don't have to think about it, and it pops up, and sometimes I do it at 2 p.m., sometimes I do it at 5 p.m., but it's on there, and it stays up as a notification on my phone until I check it off. And that's the key with this thing, if you didn't grab onto that already, is that if you miss it, it doesn't necessarily matter. You're not going to miss it for that long, probably, unless you've gone on a week vacation in the middle of nowhere and you don't have any service, but it will still pop up on your phone because it's not dependent upon the internet to pop up. So then you just have to figure out if you can accomplish the task that you wanted to without the internet. But, like I said, the key is that they will stay on this list until you check them off. And if you're anything like me, you like to have your list checked off. You don't want to have that little red dot there on the app, which is why I recommend that you don't let your apps have badges on them unless they're extremely important to your productivity, like this. So my email app, my text app, my calendar app, any other app that I can think of. I'm trying to think if I have any others that let me have badges on them. I don't think so. The only app that I can think of that I allow to have the little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever badges on it is this Reminders app. That is it. There might be some other one, but I can't think of what it is right now. But so anyway, you know that these are important things that you have to check off your list and get done. And like I said, I use it for clients, but you can also use it for friends too. Like let's say you need to check in or you want to remember to, check in with your mom or your grandma or whatnot, once a week. We get busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. I've got to snowboard a lot right now to hit my 30-plus days. And you just forget. You get excited about things. You're recording podcasts. You're doing these things. So check out the Reminders app. So now I'm just talking about this stuff. You guys get it. You know what I'm talking about. If you use this correctly, it can be a game changer in getting more things done. It has been for me, and I realized this wasn't about fitness, it wasn't about nutrition, but it could help your fitness, it could help your nutrition, it can help your overall lifestyle, help you have more time so that you can focus on fitness and nutrition. And if you have any questions about this, let me know. I'd be happy to help you out. I hope you guys check out the Get Better Project at thegetbetterproject.com/getbetter and get involved with us. We have an online at-home program that requires only a couple dumbbells or some bands or just your body weight. Or if you've got a full home gym and you just like what we're doing, you want to follow what we're doing, then you should join. So it's perfect for somebody that wants to lose some weight quickly, be in awesome shape. Basically what I'm trying to do is build people that are ready for anything that don't have to haul around a whole bunch of equipment or go to one of these nasty big box gyms. I've been going to these a few times lately. They're no fun. I don't know how you guys do it. Number one, when you go in there, don't have headphones in and look other people in the eye and say hi to them. It will make your experience way better if you have to go to one of these gyms. But anyway, I regress. Join the Get Better Project if you want to be part of our amazing group at thegetbetterproject.com/getbetter. And I will see you on the next podcast. The All Around Joe podcast, where we optimize your human performance from my personal experience as an athlete, coach, and all-around self-improvement junkie. I will see you on the next podcast.